The wildfire danger in Los Angeles is far from over. In fact, there are new fires to tell you about this morning. The Hughes Fire has burned more than 41 square kilometers since it broke out just yesterday. You can see the crews working to douse the flames from the air. This is north of Santa Clarita, about 30 minutes from Los Angeles. According to the latest reports, the Hughes Fire is only 14% contained. Someone who knows all the details about that one is Steve Futterman, who is in Los Angeles for us this morning. And he is near the Sepulveda Fire. So we'll talk about that. But because the Hughes Fire, Steve, is so much larger and so much more aggressive and far from being under control, why don't we talk about that one first? So what's the latest you're hearing there?
Well, I was out there yesterday, Heather, and it really was a rapidly spreading fire. As you mentioned, it is 14% contained, but let's remember the Palisades fire. For days and days, that fire was 0% contained. So there's some good news that the firefighters were able to jump on this fairly quickly. Now, that fire was really endangering many residential areas very early on, but they used the air assault helicopters, fixed-wing aircraft, including that Canadian Quebec Super Scooper that we call it, to really douse the flames and move it away. So it does continue to burn. It is still spreading a bit, but it's mostly in wilderness areas. Now let's take a listen to what fire officials were saying early last evening.
The conditions that we're under aren't as severe as what we've been facing over the last week or two. But what you saw today is indicative of the conditions that we're in terms of the vegetation. So although we're not under particularly dangerous situation in terms of the wind, our wildland fire condition is critical.
So what they're facing there, Heather, is obviously they're concerned about the winds. We are still under that red flag warning, which is going to go on until tomorrow. So the winds are going to increase today, but they feel somewhat confident that they've moved this fire into the wilderness areas, away from homes, away from structures. And right now, officially, no structures have been burned there. So some really good work by them. But again, that battle's far from over.
Steve, we'll be watching that Hughes Fire, but since you're right there closest to the Sepulveda Fire, this broke out very late last night, and obviously, or not obviously, we're going to learn, the fire crews have already had some measurable success there. So what's happening there?
Well, Heather, this fire really caught the attention right away. This is near the Bel Air area of Los Angeles. If you've followed historically Los Angeles wildfires, the Bel Air fire in 1961 until the Palisades fire a couple of weeks ago was the most destructive wildfire in history, burning more than 400 homes. So when this fire broke out, immediately, really people got very nervous. They jumped on it very quickly with helicopters. I think there were 5 or 6 helicopters dousing these fires over and over and over again, and they were able to contain it. But it was a very worrisome situation. Lots of panic really very early on. When you mention Bel Air and wildfires, it does get people's attention here. Now, I actually found a woman last night. She had to evacuate from the Palisades fire. Last night, she had to evacuate from this fire. Take a listen.
It's hard to relax. It seems like everything is unstable. It's hard to get back to normal. We don't even know what normal is anymore. You think you can relax, like we were going to go to sleep tonight, and this happened. So we're just always on edge.
So Heather, obviously what she says really applies to people here. They're very much on edge, and that's why I think they were able to jump on these fires, both of these fires, very, very quickly. Fire crews are really in positions to jump on any fires that break out. Now, as I mentioned, the red flag warnings are going to continue until the end of tomorrow. But believe it or not, there is some rain. Believe it or not, rain in the forecast. Not very much, just a little bit. But that should come Saturday or Sunday. And Heather, they will take any drop of water from the skies they can get, whether it comes from the helicopters, the fixed-wing aircraft, or from the clouds above. That's what they want here. So again, some nervous time here for the next 24 hours, but some good news this weekend.
Steve, thank you very much. Steve Futterman, live at the Sepulveda Fire.